Hey guys, welcome back to World of Tanks. My name is Bruce and today I want to showcase the T30, the Tier 9 American tank destroyer. Is this tank worth the grind or has it fallen behind? I will tell you everything you need to know in this video. T30 in a nutshell. You get a tank with 750 alpha damage, a great penetration value of 276 and a fully rotatable turret, although you are playing in a tank destroyer. On the other hand, your tank is relatively slow. Of course, your armor is trash, at least when it comes to the hull. The turret is actually super strong. And of course, all the gun handling stats are mediocre at best due to the fact that, this tank has to be limited in a way, right? So how do I play this tank? Well, of course, my crew is brothers in arms. Then I'm working on the gun handling skills. And of course, I want to use intuition on this tank because I want to be able to quickly change between those shells. The reload time is in my configuration 17.42. We'll take a look at the stats later on. And yeah, I'm now working on safe storage, and that's how I play this tank. Equipment wise, I play this tank with the gun rammer class 1, then with an improved aiming device, and then with an enhanced gun laying drive. I simply want to concentrate on the strength of this tank, which is the gun and the 750 alpha damage, and I want to more consistently, deliver those shots to the adversary tanks. In my opinion, we have to take a look at the armor profile of this tank in order to understand its playstyle. So let's go. This is the armor profile of the T30 against its own ammunition. So let's first of all compare it against the AMX30 with its standard penetration of 248, which is let's say a standard value for tier 9. So as you can see, the hull is trash, everybody can and will penetrate you. However, the turret is super strong. Apart from some very tiny weak spots, this tank is basically impenetrable and you can brawl against any other tank on the battlefield. So the turret is even strong against the 276mm penetration of the standard ammunition of the T30, and even if you load the premium ammunition giving you 320mm, then your turret is strong, at least at the gun mantlet. Of course, the sides here and there are becoming weaker and penetrable. However, if you use the gun depression of this tank, things change a little bit. But all in all, this turret is super strong, and it is a hull down monster. Plus, if you use your 10 degrees of gun depression, you can even hide your little cupola here at the rear. So all in all, what you want to do is you want to play hull down with this tank. Alright, first game, we are spawning on Lakeville in the T30, and look at the matchmaking. We are in a tier 9 tank and we are spawning in a tier 7 matchup. So a wonderful top tier situation. Now, we already talked about the armor profile of this tank, and so we know what we have to do. The gameplay of the T30 is actually pretty one-dimensional. So you go to a hull down location and then you brawl against any other tank on the battlefield, and you do not expose your weak hull, but you expose your strong turret. That's what you want to do. Now, of course, if there's no hull down possibility on a map, then you want to trade 1 for 1, and you do not want to give your adversary tank the opportunity to out DPM you. So you always have to have an option to fall back into cover and to dictate the pacing of the engagement. That is how you want to play the T30. But on Lakeville, as you all know, there's this wonderful hull down situation here at the E1 position, and so that's where we want to go. Now, we only have the support of the Conqueror, but as we're in a top tier situation, that is not a problem at all, and we can easily hold this flank on our own with only being 2 tanks, because we are in a top tier situation. If we were a low tier tank, let's say in a tier 10 matchup, things might be different, but in this case I think we are good to go and we can try to hold this flank on our own. Alright, so okay, first victim here. Let's first of all talk about the statistics real quick of this tank. This tank features 750 alpha damage. The dispersion is actually pretty nice for such a high alpha gun, so 0.35. However, the aim time is 2.78 seconds, and also the soft stats are not pretty good. Which is alright, because this is the balancing factor of such an high alpha gun. DPM is 2235 due to the fact that the reload time is actually pretty long, 20.13 seconds stock. So all in all, a wonderful high alpha gun, and as I said, we have to try to dictate the pacing. That's exactly what we can do in such a hull down situation, because we simply will not take any damage. And meanwhile, we will wait for our opportunity to come. Of course, we do not want to expose ourselves, at least not the weak hull. And we simply want to be patient until a chance arises to deliver 750 alpha damage. And here it comes, please, a little bit more, here you go, and lower hull, bam, little low roll actually, so lucky him. And now we want to fall back because we have 20 seconds reload time for our gun. This tank is of course the opposite of a mobile tank. 35 kph top speed, power to weight ratio 14.13, can actually be worse, for example on let's say German super heavy tanks. And then gun depression 10 degrees, so this tank is a true ridgeline warrior. And the good thing about this tank is that it has a fully rotatable turret, making it super flexible, and you can actually play this tank more as a, let's say, heavy TD hybrid. In fact, I play this tank more like a, oh, thank you, thanks for showing me a lower hull. I play this tank more as a heavy tank. The only difference to heavy tank is the slightly worse gun handling, and I really have to fully aim in my shots in order to deliver them consistently. Alright, and with only 3 shots we already made 2000 damage. Let's see, another shot. Okay, no, we do not get a shot here. Our gun is damaged, so let's see. And then yeah, last but not least, the rest of the stats. As I said, the hull is super weak. Everybody will penetrate you in your lower hull and also in your upper hull, but the turret is what's really strong about this tank, and so that's why you should play this tank hull down and only show your turret like so, because you will not get penetrated, not even by tier 10 tanks in this vehicle. Alright, so Hellcat is making pressure, and so I think we should also make pressure now. The game seems to be won. Our teammates have won the city, and we could easily maintain this, or stay neutral on this flank. But now it's time to advance because all those tanks have been taken out, and now let's see whether we can make more damage. Maybe 1 or 2 more shots. Let's see how it goes. And is there a nice tank here? Oh yes, there's the Char Future 4. We only want to once again expose our turret, and here you go. We don't even have to aim in because of the close distance of this tank. Now he's taken out. Excellent. So yeah, we already bounced 2750 damage, which is not a problem at all in this tank. So 2800 damage dealt by ourselves. Oh, sorry, Hellcat, sorry. Here you go, thanks, spam, and we can take him out. So lovely 3.2k damage. Now we take a shot from the arty, which is okay because we still have enough HP to trade. And can we get a last shot? And no, due to the slow turret traverse speed, we cannot take another shot. But in my opinion, an excellent result. And that's pretty much the one-dimensional playstyle of this tank. Okay, second game. This time we are spawning on Paris against tier 8 and tier 9 tanks. And let's first of all take a look at the map and see what options we have. Spawning on Paris in the east with the T30, you have several options. As it is a TD, you could go to a typical TD position like here or like here. However, in my opinion, this tank is not a sniping tank, and so yeah, you should actually go to the brawling area. You have a fully rotatable turret, and this tank is more a heavy TD hybrid. So I like to go and play on the in the brawling area here, and so I like to go to this position and then see how the game develops to either push forward or maybe help my team to hold the adversary advance if they have won this position and if they are advancing in this direction. Now on Paris, things are a bit more complicated. This is why I wanted to do the little map overview at the beginning. Now, as I said in the first game, sometimes on a map you do not have a hull down option, at least not in the first place. Now, my biggest recommendation for you, if you're playing the T30, but then if you're also playing other tank destroyers with strong armor, and be it only the turret like on the T30, is play those tanks aggressively and brawl against the adversary heavy tanks. This is a strength, like the armor profile of your tank is a strength that you should exploit in your gameplay. And you can make the difference in such a TD on the heavy lane. Like if your team has one additional tank, then chances are that you will win the brawling fight. And this is once again a strength that cannot be underestimated and that you should really exploit. And so, as I said in the first game, in this situation, as we're not in a hull down situation, we want to brawl 1 for 1. And I mean, best case is that we do not get a shot or we do not lose any HP like in this situation. But that was only due to bad luck of the Centurion 7-1. But we always want to be in a situation in which we can fall back so that we only take one shot and of course deliver 750 alpha for the adversary tank. So we always, and that's how you can trade positively in such a tank. Now notice that you always want to have a repair kit available in order to fall back in case you not only receive damage but you also get tracked. So that's what you always want to do. Okay, now he's not looking at me. Perfect situation. In this situation, you want to aim in at least a little bit. Here's my situation I was talking about. Now, of course, I'm lucky that I do not get tracked again. However, once again, if you peek out, then you have to have your repair kit available. So 1300 damage, but as we cannot play hull down, we already lost half of our HP, which is understandable. Now, we do not want to peek out against the Mark II once again in order to not risk too much, because he's looking towards my position. And so I need the help of my team in order to take him out. Now he's fallen back, so I can move around the corner, and I want to punish him as soon as he peeks around the corner again. Here you go, that's what I want to see. And nice, 757 alpha damage. We can fall back and he does not have the chance of shooting back towards our tank. Now, if you have such a situation, then you want to stand completely still and be fully aimed in, so to increase the chance of hitting where you want to hit in such a situation. But this has only worked due to the Mark II falling back behind the cover, and so that was our opportunity to move out of cover and to be fully aimed in and wait for him to appear once again to make our shot. And those are the small things that you want to incorporate into your gameplay. Now the Mark II has been taken out, or is at least no, he's still in the game, but he's fallen back. So okay, I do not know where this shot went. So we and that's what I wanted to say. So we can create now a hull down situation against the Sumur SM. That's what we want to do. Now he's a smart kid and he is trying to position himself so that he can shoot my lower hull, but I can use the rack here in order to hide my hull, and then once again I am a hull down behemoth, and so he doesn't have a chance against me. Now I want to get one shot onto the object 257. Now of course you have to hurry up in such a tank because the tank is slow, and you have to kind of be quick in such a situation and in order to make sure that you get one additional shot and you do not leave all the damage to your adversary tanks. So maybe we can get the kill shot, maybe not. No, of course we cannot, because our clip, or not the clip reload, the gun reload is too huge. But I think 3.7k damage is a decent result in the T30, and this was kind of the a good showcase of gameplay in which you cannot exploit the hull-down strength of your tank, but you can also, of course, with 750 alpha, you can make your tank work if you apply a couple of tips and tricks, and if you manage to trade 1-for-1 with your high alpha gun. Alright, last but not least, the third and last match in the T30. This time we are finally spawning against tier 10 tanks, so in a mid-tier situation. But let's first of all take a look at the map and see what options we have. Spawning on Tundra in the north with the T30, you have multiple options. Once again, there are RTD positions like here in the back or here. However, I cannot recommend those positions due to the fact that your gun is so inaccurate and you are really not a sniping tank. So in my opinion, the best way is either to support your heavy tanks right here on the one lane, or to play here and to use your hull down capabilities of this tank. Alright, so I want to go to the 9 and 0 lane, because I think that winning the hill on this map is most important. And so I want to support my team in winning this portion of the map, and furthermore I can perfectly fine play hull down in this location and use the strengths of my tank, which is the superb turret armor. So of course I'm not the fastest tank, so I will not be able to get a shot onto the first tanks arriving at the hill like the WoT or the Lorraine. However, I will be able to support my team. Now in this situation, if you take a look at the minimap, nobody of our team is proceeding to the one lane, so we'll have to see how that one goes. Looks like the majority of the adversary tanks also went on top of the hill, which is understandable. And now we want to be patient and wait for our opportunity to arise. And meanwhile, we only want to show our turret. The biggest mistake is to overexpose your tank and to show more than only the turret. Excellent. So nice first shot onto the WoT, which could be taken out by our teammates. So yeah, first damage is made. And now, you know what, let's see, do we need to fall back or can we advance? Here go, we have reloaded our tank, our gun, and so maybe if the okay, looks like the adversary tanks are going back. Maybe we can get one shot onto the Rhino. Let me see. Go, and once again in this tank, there's one more thing that you need to incorporate into your gameplay if you play such a tank with such a high alpha gun, and of course such bad gun handling stats. You have to only limit yourself to very small changes in order to be at least a bit aimed in once you take a shot. If you want to conduct snapshots with such a tank, it will not work. And so moving out of cover full speed and then trying to conduct a snapshot onto your adversary tank will not work. I see so many people trying to snapshot adversary tanks and then complaining about the bad gun handling. Yes, the gun handling is bad. This is just the limiting factor for such a high alpha gun. However, you can try at least to control this with only moving out of cover very slowly so that your gun reticle does not bloom out too much. Okay, here you go. Now I overexposed my tank, so I have to fall back. And let's see. So yeah, let's fall back. Let's only show the turret armor of this tank. And you go. Here's the weak spot. Let's aim in and bam. You can take him out. The Reno Toronto does have a weak spot on top of the gun. If you want to know everything about this tank, then check out my video about this tank. And so we could take him out, and I think this will help us to win, to regain control over the hill. Let's see. We must not expose ourselves too much, because we do not want to end up in a crossfire situation. Okay, here you go. That was a lucky shot. I think I hit his upper roof armor, which I can overmatch. And so, yeah, 2,200 damage so far, so good. Meanwhile, the M4Y and the T30 are covering our right flank, which is good. And so we can stay focused on winning the hill. Now I want to load premium ammunition in order to maybe consistently pen the IS-3, because we want to take him out. And okay, here we go. There's the Jagdpanzer. Go, and if he goes on top of the hill, oh, thank you very much, Mr. Jagdpanzer E100. Thanks for showing us your side armor. Now we need to fall back because the object 260 is pushing. Meanwhile, taking a close look at the minimap, the object 704 is pushing over the bridge, but that shouldn't be a problem. Now we want to fall back, and bam, another shot. Hopefully he doesn't. Oh, nice. He cannot shoot back because he was a bit too slow. Excellent. And so we can reload our gun and then of course peek out once again. Excellent. All right, let's see. Okay, that was a difficult shot, and yeah, a pixel shot which we did not hit, which is understandable. Once again, the gun handling is of course not the best one. However, that's how it is. So let's see. Can we pen the IS-3? Let me see. Yeah, let's load premium ammunition in order to reliably pen him. And let's aim in. And go. Okay. I bounced this shot. I think it hit the gun mantlet, which is pretty strong. Now, if you want to pen the IS-3, you should try to hit the upper portion of the turret, because this can be overmatched as far as I think. And let me see. Now we are in a difficult situation, but as I only have, okay, thanks a lot. That's always a mistake. Okay, what happened here? I think, did I load HE? Unfortunately. Okay, I think I loaded HE and I only made 137 damage. Okay, that's a bit frustrating. Go. Now I can take him out. Excellent. At least 285 additional damage. And now we want to see whether we can get another shot. Now, of course, my tank is not the fastest one. However, there's only 2 TDs and then 3 heavy tanks, including myself. I mean, I'm also a TD, but I consider myself as being a heavy tank. So maybe I can get an additional shot. Now I'm loading HE. This time it's consciously, because I can easily pen the Scorpion G. And I want to use the tremendous alpha damage of the HE shell. So let's see how it goes. So all in all, T30 in a nutshell. Is this tank worth grinding? Oh yes, absolutely yes. It's not only a tank with an high alpha gun, but it is a tank which has a superb... Oh, it's nice. Okay, only 490 alpha damage. It's a tank which has a superb turret armor, with which you can really play hull down. Plus, it has a fully rotatable turret, making this tank super flexible, and so it has the strength that it needs to be enjoyable compared to other high alpha guns. And so, in my opinion, yes, this tank is old, but it is far from being outdated, and it's really fun. Of course, let's say, one reason for this, for this tank being so much enjoyable is the fact that it is a tier 9 tank. And I mean, I showed you 3 games in which we only once played against tier 10 tanks, but then we also had tier 8 tanks in the session. So tier 9 is simply the best tier in World of Tanks, and you will most likely, or most of the time, you will be in a top tier situation, making this tank further enjoyable. So I can really recommend this tank. It is super fun to play, and it is a go-to tank if I am, let's say, if I had some, let's say, some bad luck in the game, and if I want to simply deliver those high alpha shots to other tanks. Alright guys, that was it for today with the video about the T30. Do you like this tank? Do you think it performs well on the battlefield? Do you also think it has a one-dimensional playstyle? Just leave a comment in the comment section down below. And as always, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. This really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. If you find this video extremely helpful, then feel free to support me via Super Thanks. This way you can make a one-time donation. You just have to click this button underneath the video. If you adore this channel and you want to consistently support me, then consider subscribing to my channel or become a member, once again with the click of a button underneath the video. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time in another World of Tanks video.